I hate this game! Ah! Ah! Hello. I have dressed as Pep Guardiola today because I got my serious Pep jumper. Look, serious Pep jumper because I am very, very unhappy. More than you believe. Very, very, and it's necessary. It's necessary to me to talk about my team has done. It's not a good week. Oh, God! Why is this game so hard? I brought in Dyer. That worked. Okay, I'm happy with that. He got 6 points. On the bench. Ward, he gets a clean sheet. That was fine. Pope got a clean sheet as well. Mitrovic, oh, he's definitely out. De Silva, oh, it's touch and go. We don't think he'll play. Silva, oh, I don't think it's touch and go. We're all thinking, probably on the bench. FPL, Salah, Abdullah, I think he'd probably be on the bench. Luke, think you probably, you listening to Fantasy Football Scout? Hello, yes, I think Mitrovic's going to be on the bench. Don't start him. Didn't start him, did I? Started Pascal Grob. Do you know what Pascal Grob got? 2 points! More than you believe. He's very difficult for me to talk to you today. Very difficult indeed. Didn't start James Justin, bought him last week, where he should have got a clean sheet last week. This week, when he's playing Palace, who are good at attacking, he gets a clean sheet. Ah! 40 points, that's what I got. I should be doing this with the team. There. So you can have a look at it. I'll get the team up in a second, but... Oh, God! Other than that, quite a good week, really. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Who's Your Captain. Join the league. You'll want to, because you'll be ahead of me. 2.2 million in the world now. Like and subscribe. It's a Schadenfreude stream. You could watch your FPL Raptors, FPL Harry. You could see FPL Andy flying up the leagues. You could see Alistair Bruce Ball from BBC. Or subscribe to me and watch a guy who's 35 have a breakdown about something that is mainly out of his control. In the season that he decided to start a YouTube channel. I started a YouTube channel, didn't I? When I'm having the worst season. Ah! I hope you guys had a great week this week, really do. Listen, we got a quick turnaround. The deadline is tomorrow. Okay? Make sure you get your teams. I'm going to double check the deadline. I think it's 6:30, but it could be even earlier. Hang on. We're going to check the deadline. Check the diddly deadline. It's 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. British summertime. Tomorrow, Tuesday. Today's Monday. And we got a few things to talk about. Okay. So, let's have a little look at my team. All right. That's where we're at. 40 points, 6 below the average. Look at the bench. Look at the bench. Look at the bench. Right. On the thumbnail, I've got Mitrovic when he had 5 points. He got even more. At one point, it was 666. I mean, never more has FPL felt like it's been handed to me from the devil. Where are the gods? I'm thinking of singing, maybe this time I'll be lucky. Maybe this time I'll win. It's gonna happen sometime. Something's bound to begin. Come on! When's it gonna be my turn? You could tune in. This is like Arsenal fan TV. When you're going, Wenger, he's got to go. He's got to go, Wenger. I've had enough. What was that bloke? He's got to go. Wenger's got to go. That's what you're tuning in for. You're not going to be tuning in when I'm flying up the table. No, you're tuning in for this. Martinelli and Jesus. Arsenal, very lacklustre performance against Leeds. Really lucky there to get away with a win. I don't know what's going on. We must win the league this year, surely, because just everything is going our way. Maddison's yellow. What's he doing? I've got a wild card in 13. I've been negotiating this so I could get through this week. Then James goes and gets injured last week. Fine. Okay, that can happen in football. Maddison, he got a yellow for a booking in the 94th minute. What's he doing? You're an idiot. He dived. So Maddison's not playing. De Bruyne has been nowhere near as good as Foden. Andreas, I'm happy with that. Pascal Grob. I mean, what I will say about Pascal Grob, I know his name's gross, I prefer to call him Grob. Pascal Grob did play as centre forward for Brighton. And he didn't do anything, but he was playing centre forward. Worryingly, De Zerbi, as the Brighton manager, has said that Lallana is definitely starting in the next game. So Grob will probably be benched. How great! Dyer, 6 points. Trippier and Pope, happy with that. Finally got points from my keeper. Hurrah! And I like Pope and Trippier for the next fixture as well. Everton at home. Cancelo, yeah. And another day, Cancelo gets quite a few assists there. You know, he had one that was in he would have got the assist. No, he wouldn't. But he had one that got in that Van Dijk cleared. He had another one that Haaland should have scored. So, and Cancelo, I mean, what are we talking about? We're not worried about Cancelo. Nico Williams got a start over Aurier. What I'll say on Nico Williams is that Aurier is still out. So there's a good chance that Nico Williams starts. So that is a plus. That's the win. That's a win. That's what I'm taking as a win. Nico Williams. He might start. Brighton away. And I'm like, that's good news. Great. So that's my team. 40 points. Shall we look at the league? The league that I created. Right. There's the league. Chris Thatcher knocked off the top. Still did pretty well. He got 43 points. Alistair Bruce Ball on 49. I mean, none of these are brilliant scores, but they're flying up the table. They're now 65, 70. But what I will say on this, don't panic too much. I mean, you can see that I'm very chilled. But listen, it's only about 2 or 3 points. You've got to gain about 2 or 3 points a game over 30 game weeks. 28 game weeks. And you've made it up. Okay, so it's not that bad. It's just tough to deal with at the moment. Chris Thatcher into second. Jack Stein, 55. He's doing very, very well. He's just texted me a question, actually. I've got questions. That's what I've got. It's a bit of a freestyle one today. I've got some questions. We'll answer those. Please like and subscribe this video if you're watching it. Chuck it a like. It helps so much. Just chuck it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Comment. Just say, this is great. Is he okay, though? Something like that. Ian Sterling, doing great. I've got 43 points, and I'm happy with that. Craig Robertson, coming in with a 72. Craigie boy. Daniel Cook, the guest we had on last week, 61 points. He's gone ahead of me, up to 605. Brooker, 32. Wow, I didn't see how bad that was. And Mange, my good mate Mange, he's one of the best fantasy football players I know. And he's only 8 points ahead of me, so there we go. And Annie McGrath sneaking in there. Annie McGrath sneaking in there at 11th. And we've got a question from Annie McGrath as well. So, the first question we have, actually, is from Annie McGrath. I'm just going to get this up here. Annie McGrath, what should I do with my team? Okay, Annie McGrath, this is her first season. She's only 5 points below me. I've been playing it for nearly 10 years. That's right there, isn't it? Right, this is Annie's team. Now, Annie hasn't used her wild card, which was the first question I asked. She's got Haaland not playing, Saka not playing, Jesus not playing, Patterson's injured. Other than that, she's in good shape. I've suggested that she get rid of Saka and do her wild card in 13, because that is what I'm going to do. If you want to look, we'll look back at my team again. As you can see here, I've got no Haaland, no De Bruyne, no Cancelo, no Martinelli. No, Maddison. So that is 4 players that aren't playing. 5. So to get an 11 out, I need to make 3 transfers, which is a -8. I might roll in with 10, I'll be honest with you. But let's look back at Annie's team. Annie's in a much better position. Although Greenwood up front, how many points is Greenwood going to get? Not a lot. But other than that, she's in pretty good shape here. I really like the team. Salah captain for next week, fine. I think move Saka on to either Trossard at home to Nottingham Forest. Or, it's only for 1 week, okay? Remember this, it's only for 1 week. So Trossard, I like Mount. Look, Mount, he got 2 assists in the game 2 games ago. He got 2 goals in the last game. Good vibes. What I will say on Mount, and Ian Sterling's question, because brings into this, is how can I not have Mount? 10-8. Well, the only reason why you wouldn't have Mount is because Potter has been a bit choppy-changing, the Pottery Lottery, a bit choppy-changey with his teams, but Mount has played every single time. I think he's integral to the Chelsea team. Mount also was a bit of a doubt and apparently played through the pain barrier, but he got through it and he scored a couple of goals. I'd be sticking with Mount. I like Mount. I say to Annie, it's 1 week. I think the thing is, right, Annie and I, we're both down. We're in the 2.2 million place. You want to be making... Everyone's got Trossard. I can't believe I'm saying this. Trossard's at home to Nottingham Forest. I say go for Mount away to Brentford. That's what I'd be looking at. And other than that, then she's got 11 because Alexander-Arnold comes in. And then she's got Saka. Don't do a minus. If you don't do a -4 this week, you're already the head of the game. One thing I will say is that this week, it's often sort of said that when it's a blank game week, it's only a -2. And what people mean by that is if I take, Annie, for example, if she takes Gabriel Jesus out and brings in Roberto Firmino, right, he's Brazilian, I did an Italian accent, it's not a -4 because Jesus ain't going to play. So Firmino only has to play 60 minutes to get 2 points. So then it's only a -2. Then Firmino only has to get an assist, 3 points. And already it's a +1. You do the math. So it's not necessarily a -4. Not like, when I took out... Remember last week when I took out Morgan Gibbs-White for Maddison and then he got an assist? That ends up being like he got 5. Did I do a -4? I didn't do a -4. Whatever. The point is if the player you take out gets points, it's even worse. And I'll be saying this as well. Here's some advice, because a few people are talking about, is Salah a must? That was Jack Stein's question. Is Salah a must? Is he back? I think he is. There's even talk of people who've got Kane, who has scored in every single game week apart from game week 1. Do you know the week I had him? There's talk of people selling Kane and coming down to a Solanke, a Tony, a Wilson, a Firmino, a Nunez, a Daka even, to fund, so they can upgrade a midfielder to Salah. Selling Kane in a week that he's playing, but he's playing Man United. I don't even think it's a bad move. Salah going forward, he's got West Ham at home, and then he's got Nottingham Forest. You want Salah right now. Salah's the boy. He looks back. He's playing centre forward now. Not pushed out into the wing. I don't know if that's going to stay like that, but look, Klopp, he likes to see what Salah does playing up front. He was so fantastic. I got a red card. Okay, yes, I got a little bit annoyed, but you have to see the referee. Someone talk to me about why the referee did that. I don't know why the referee did that. I don't know. Shut up. Shut up. These punches to the... Oh, God. God! I'm not all right. No, I'm not all right. If you thought at that point, someone should clip that up. That was start of the breakdown. So Annie, there's my advice to you. I would be getting rid of Saka, because you're going to bring him back in your wild card in game week 12, and we'll do a big wild card streak, because I'm going to be wild carding next week. I tell you that for free. Put your money away. That's Annie's question, okay? Now, another question we had, I'm going to put the fixtures up here. Another question we had was, a friend of mine asked me, is it time to get rid of Son? I think, right, don't sell players that are playing this week. Like, if you're fortunate enough to have 12 players that are probably playing this week, then maybe you can sell one of the players that are playing. But most people have got 3 Man City for definite and maybe an Arsenal. Maybe 2 Arsenal, like me, with Jesus, who missed an open goal. So I would say don't sell Son, however bad he's been. But this guy is a Tottenham fan who texts me. I know, I'm allowed to be friends with him. It's tough, but I do it. So I would say don't sell any players that are playing this week because it's only going to harm you. Also, I would say be careful, everyone, because there is going to be lots of rotation this week. Chelsea could very easily change their entire team. There's a very short turnaround for Liverpool. You know, there's players like Kane and Son who are probably definitely going to start. Probably definitely. Brighton, with the Lallana news, that probably means Gross won't start. Brilliant. But it could mean Trossard doesn't start. We don't know. So just be careful of these quick turnarounds. Fulham, I'm glad Mitrovic, I'm glad that he wasn't in my team, but I'm glad that there is a good chance of him playing now. Andreas, I'd be very, very wary about selling players that have got a fixture this week because you just don't know what's going to happen. People ask me about, should I use my free hit? No. If you've got 4 players, fine. But if you've got 4 players, what have you been doing? I say, if you've got 10, that's fine. It's going to be a low-scoring week, potentially. Potentially, they're going to cover my back, potentially. It could be a great week, I don't know. I mean, I'm 2.2 million in the world. Although a lot of the things that I'm suggesting to people are working, just not the things I'm doing to my own team. If you've not got your wild card, which I know is most people, then I would be looking at fixtures going forward. You know, you look like Palace have got great fixtures going forward. But then again, Vieira seems to, any time he's going away with Palace, they're just shutting up shop. I don't think they're as exciting as they once were, as we thought they were going to be with this run of fixtures. You know, if I'm going to look at the fixture ticker now, which is on the app. You go to select fixture difficulty rating, right? And going forward, Fulham, good fixtures. Everton have got good fixtures. Palace at home, Fulham away, Leicester at home. Palace have got good fixtures. Everton away, Southampton at home, West Ham away, Nottingham Forest away. You can't go wrong with a Crystal Palace player. Newcastle, Everton at home. I fancy Newcastle in this game. Your Almirons, your Wilsons. I've got 2 at the back. I'm okay with that. Tottenham away, that's not going to be easy. But then Newcastle got Villa at home. Southampton away, atrocious. Chelsea at home, they conceded a lot of chances, Chelsea, to Villa this weekend. Newcastle's fixtures are good. Not really sort of it. Leeds look great against Arsenal. If Bamford starts firing, he's one to jump on. Bournemouth as well. Southampton at home next. Solanke, man. Solanke and Billing are such a great combination. I don't think Billing's as much of a fantasy football option, but Solanke's 5.7 mil. I'm saying it like I'm an idiot. Solanke, all the people who've had Solanke in for 2 or 3 weeks, he's really done. I know Jack Stein has. He's done you the business. I'm all right. Don't worry. I'm all right. Another question I had was from Tom Davis. He said, what Arsenal players would you get back for game week 13? It's a good question, right? Arsenal's fixtures going forward after they're blank. So their game isn't playing this week. Then they've got Southampton away, Nottingham Forest at home, Chelsea away, Wolves away until the World Cup. Banging fixtures. We just looked very, very tired against Leeds. Now, we've got PSV on Thursday. I think Arteta goes to play with strong side. We're going to play for the front. We're going to attack the team from the front. I believe it. Let's fucking do it, guys. Let's fucking do it. I think he's going to go a strongish team against PSV at home because he wants to win the group. Because the Europa League this year, if you win the group, you don't have to go through some mad last 32 round where you play the teams that have come down from the Champions League. So I think he's going to make sure he beats PSV and then at home, and then we're done. But obviously Southampton playing Bournemouth away, that's not going to be an easy fixture. Not much of a travel, but they're not going to be an easy fixture for them. Bournemouth are in good form. And then they've got to play the Arsenal on the Sunday at 2 o'clock. So, Arsenal players I think you want to be thinking about. And we'll do more on this before the Saturday deadline. But Saka is in incredible form. He's a football robot. You've got to get Saka. Martinelli value is incredible. Jesus, listen, obviously Jesus is amazing and he's still only 8 million. But he's on 4 yellow cards, which is a worry. Because what you don't want is Jesus playing in the Southampton game and then missing Nottingham Forest at home when he could be a captain option. I also worry that maybe Arteta rests Jesus at that point and just plays Eddie Nketiah, Eddie Kruger, in that Nottingham Forest at home game. So it's something to be wary about. There's going to be rotation, and you've got to be okay with it. I'm saying this to myself. Luke, you've got to be okay with it, Luke. I know, but why won't it go right for me? I don't know. It's because you started a YouTube channel and it's funnier if you're bad. I think it's funnier. I think it's better if I'm good. Nah. So, yeah, Arsenal players. Maybe Saliba, but he's nearly 5.2 mil now. Ben White seems to be absolutely nailed at 4.5 as well, and does get possible attacking returns. So there's loads of Arsenal options out there. Okay, other questions we had in. Captain choice for this week. I think when you're looking at the fixtures, and I think the way Liverpool have played, I think it's got to be Salah. Salah's your main captain choice. I would look at Trossard at home to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest looked absolutely awful against Wolves. I would also look at Solanke at home to Southampton. Southampton were terrible. I fancy that as a shout, you know. Mitrovic, potentially, but I would say it's definitely Salah top. Jack Stein had another question for me, which was, should he get Trent in for a hit? Now, we talked about these -2s in. Trent has only just come back from injury. Does he play against West Ham? Didn't start against Man City. Does he play against West Ham? There's a press conference today with Jurgen Klopp. So hopefully we'll get a few more answers. You know, let's find out if he's going to play. I don't know. If you think he's going to start, I think Trent is worth a -2, actually, because I think Liverpool are going to pick up their form now. They've got good fixtures. A lot of people don't have Trent. They've sold him. That's why they don't have him. And he's sort of like a midfielder, Trent. We have to believe, more than you'll believe, we have to believe that. So I think doing a hit for a Liverpool player, for Trent, is okay. Any more questions? Is Solanke the new Jesus? I mean, for his value at 5.7, he's the new Haaland. What the F, that stands for a little swear, you can guess. What the F happened to Cucurella? I thought Potter was his mate. Well, Potter made some half-time changes and got rid of Cucurella and brought in Koulibaly. It's difficult to know with Potter what team, what formation he's going to settle on. I wouldn't be banking on Chelsea players. He tried Sterling at wing-back, wasn't working. Does Sterling play this week? Maybe not. I'm seriously thinking of getting Mount in. So I think I've got to say that I believe Mount will start, but that's only because he's played every game under Potter. Brentford away, difficult game. You know, it's sort of a derby in a way for Chelsea. I would say Mount will play. But I know Chelsea fans, I was listening to The Wire earlier and they were saying that, you know, that there's a chance he was playing through the pain barrier. They reckon he won't start. But I'm 2.2 million in the world and I don't want to just go Trossard. I mean, okay, well, there you go. Go Captain Trossard. Obviously Captain Trossard because I'm not doing it. Genuinely do that. Because that will work. Let me check if we've had any other questions before I read through. Maddison, keep or ditch. Well, look, let's look at the fixtures again. Maddison, I mean, flipping heck. Leicester also look terrible. But after Leeds at home, you've got Maddison with Wolves away, City at home. Oh, God. Everton away, West Ham away. I mean, ditch him. Ditch him. Get rid. It's time. It's time to go. This is Arsenal Fan TV. I cannot believe I've turned into Arsenal Fan TV. Any more questions? We've had that. Emerson and Williams replacements. Well, it depends what you're looking at. If you're looking for 1 week, I wouldn't sell Williams because I think he's going to play. But if you've got Emerson, I mean, he played I think he played against Liverpool. Check that. But if you are looking for defenders, I would say don't go. He said Castagna. Well, don't go near Leicester. I would say, oh, God, they kept a clean sheet this week, didn't they? I don't know. You make up your own minds. I would say this week, Brighton. Dunk, Webster. They're your two boys. Dunk, I would say, number one. After that, I would be looking at Dyer at Tottenham because we know he's going to play. Doherty, I think, has definitely got the next game. Conte's like, yeah, well, very happy with Doherty. I repeat, when I said that I didn't want him to play because I thought we were going to lose, actually what I meant is, I repeat that I think Doherty is the best player in FPL. 4.4 mil, he's worth it. Does he play when Emerson gets back in the next game? Maybe not. And do you want to bring him against Man United? Probably not. Liverpool defenders, if you can afford them. But I think if it's a 1 week punt, go Brighton. If it's a little bit further on than that, I would be looking at Guay. We talked about him before, but Guay here at Crystal Palace, Anderson at Crystal Palace. Maybe you can invest in Wolves at some point. Sarr has got nearly as many points as Alisson. And he's about a mil cheaper. Maybe not a mil, maybe a 0.5 cheaper. Let me look at the fixtures one more time for Wolves. Wolves. Palace away. Leicester at home. Brentford away. Brighton at home. Arsenal at home. Why is that a grey fixture? That should be a hard, deep red. Everton away. No, that's after the World Cup. So, Wolves' fixtures are all right. Have a look. Everton's fixtures are all right. You've got Tarkowski. You've got Cody. You could bring in Cody. Maybe you bring in Cody and he scores a bullet header and you get loads of points from Cody. I'm all right. Any other questions here? That's it. The only other thing, right, you can roll with 10. I'm probably going to roll with 10. Don't go mad. Don't go -8. Don't go -12 because you're going to bring in. You're going to want to bring these Arsenal City players back. I'm all right because I've got a wild card. I don't know. It's not much good to me because I'm 2.2 million in the world. But I'm all right to do a one. I can do a 1 week punt because I've got a wild card next week. That's why I said to Annie, get rid of Saka for 1 week. He ain't going to play. That's why it says post next to Arsenal Man City, right? But you're going to bring him back afterwards in the wild card. But if you're selling Foden, you're only going to have to bring him back the next week. So I just wouldn't worry about that. I'd rather have Foden in one game than bringing in, I don't know, Mount for 2 games. Does that make sense? Right, let's look through the fixtures. Okay, Fulham, Aston Villa. I fancy Fulham. Obviously, they're at home. The only trouble is that their defence is so bad. So Villa's attack's not great, but Kepa had an amazing game for Chelsea. So on another day, Watkins gets more points. Ings gets more points there. So I'm going to say Fulham 2, Aston Villa 1. Yeah. Fulham 2, actually it's slightly different than that. Fulham 2, Aston Villa 1. Yeah, we'll go with that. Leicester Leeds. Leeds look good and they deserve more points. I don't think Leicester are keeping a clean sheet in this. I don't. Leicester. The only thing I can say in a Leicester accent is don't get frustrated so that people can understand me. So that's my Leicester accent, and I don't think they're going to keep a clean sheet. I think this might be the end of Rodgers, although I think the reason they're keeping Rodgers right is because he's like 10 million to sack him because they gave him such long contracts. I don't think they're going to sack him. So I think Leeds are going to win this. So I'm going to say Leicester City 0, Leeds United 2. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Arsenal Manchester City postponed because of Arsenal playing against PSV. Arsenal top of the league. Okay, Bournemouth, Southampton. Fancy Bournemouth in this. Big time. I think Solanke. I'm going Bournemouth 2, Southampton 0. Brentford, Chelsea. Tony. What a player Tony is. England have got to take him to the World Cup. What a player. I like Brentford. I think they're going to be up for this as well. At the Community Stadium, under the lights. Score! You're joking me? If I could have a ticket to one of the games this week, it'd be Brentford-Chelsea. I tell you that for free. Put your money away. Okay, I'm going to go Brentford 2, Chelsea 2. It would be Brentford 2, Chelsea 2. I think. Is that right? Yeah. 2-2. Desmond. Newcastle, Everton. Yeah, I've already mentioned it. Wilson, Almiron, Bruno Guimaraes. Trippier, absolutely. In fact, if you haven't got Trippier, get Trippier. He's a points machine. So I think Newcastle are going to win this. I'm going to say Newcastle United 3, Everton 0. There you go. Liverpool, West Ham. Liverpool are back, baby. West Ham look tired, baby. I'm going to go Liverpool 3, West Ham United 1. I'm giving them a goal because they do look a little bit suspect at the back. They look great against City, but I don't see Milner playing again. So maybe that means Trent does play. Is Milner ever? Oh, old man Milner, that old man Milner. He's 36 years old and his bones are creaky. That old man Milner, he can't keep playing every week. So I don't think Milner's playing this week. Man United, Tottenham. Oh, two hateful teams. I think this is going to be tight, but I think Tottenham will find a win. So I'm going to go Conte. It's play the worst football in the league, but we keep winning the games. We're going to win the league, bore everyone to death. I repeat. So I think it is going to be Manchester United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Probably a Kane penalty. Brighton, Nottingham Forest. Okay, you've got to feel Brighton are going to do well in this. Every part of me is hoping that it doesn't happen. So but I do think Brighton are going to do well. Okay, Brighton and Hove Albion 3, Nottingham Forest 0. Oh no, I should have gone Brighton and Hove Albion 3, Nottingham Forest 0. Lots of 3-0s. I love I said it was going to be a low scoring week. It was going to be 100 points at the moment. Crystal Palace Wolves. Crystal Palace stunk the gaff out against Leicester, I tell you. I think this is going to be... Crystal Palace fans will be up for this. 8:15. Had a couple of jars on the way down to Selhurst. Come on, the Palace. Glad all over we are. Glad all over. Crystal Palace 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Yeah, Crystal Palace 2-0. There's my score predictions. I've got nothing else to say. Okay? That's it. Join the league. Right? Subscribe. Click the little button there. Subscribe. Hit the likes button. Thank you so much. I'll have a guest on. Gaston. I have a guest on this week. It's just this was a quick turnaround and, everyone said no. So we'll be back. But enjoy the week. Listen. This is what we live for in fantasy football. We've only got the Monday off. I know it. What is it, Jurgen? People are not thinking about the players. They're not thinking about the players. I tell you what I think about the players, mate. They're on 200 grand a week. Get over it. So I'm loving it. I might be 2.2 million in a while, but listen. The only way is up, baby. Let's play the outro. I'll see ya after this game week. Follow me on Twitter. Very miserable on there. What will I have got wrong this week?